One thing that I truly admire about children is that they really know how to have a good time. Because the world is so new to them, small things like throwing leaves can be the most fun and exciting experience. Children also have a sense of curiosity and imagination that can be really inspiring. Their best qualities are often reflective of our own innate desires to combat instincts such as fear, loneliness, guilt, and sadness. But there's a specific example of a child behavior that doesn't necessarily inspire that same feeling of inspiration, and that is the behavior of the iPad baby. Now, the iPad baby has become a bit of an internet meme, but even if you aren't familiar with this meme, you can probably imagine seeing a child completely glued to a technological device and how unsettling it can feel. So, what does the iPad baby illuminate about digital culture and its effects on the capacity of the human experience? Using theories of enlightenment in combination with early childhood educational theories, we can explore how technology usage affects the most malleable and innocent. First, children are messy by nature. Therefore, it makes sense for the device used by a child to be covered in filth. Some may find disgust triggered by this, and reasonably so, but messy play is actually an essential developmental experience for children. Through messy play, children build their understanding of a world that's so unfamiliar to them. It's exactly why babies want to put everything in their mouth. It's because they want to physically experience it. Immanuel Kant touches on this idea of experiential play, but in the context of enlightenment. He says, dogmas and formulas, these mechanical tools designed for reasonable use, or rather abuse, of his natural gifts, are the fetters of everlasting non-age. The man who cast them off would make an uncertain leap over the narrowest ditch because he is not used to such free movement. That is why there are only a few men who walk firmly and who have emerged from non-age by cultivating their own minds. Messy play cultivates the building blocks for confidence, which is necessary in the process of enlightenment. Children can't physically experience the world through a screen. Therefore, excessive use can be damaging to cultivating confidence in their own abilities. Children are emotionally driven by nature. In fact, they are often more in touch with their emotions than most adults, and therefore can be more attuned to emotional shifts. When toddlers throw tantrums, it is their way of learning how to express and manage their survival-based instincts of displeasure. The ways in which they receive feedback to those tantrums add to their perception of the world and ultimately the perception of themselves. Harari says that emotions are a naturally occurring form of rationality based on evolution and experience. The emotions that children experience are merely a direct expression of an inherent need for survival. That need can be anything from hunger to disappointment to failure. And in order to deal with those needs appropriately, children need to be shown healthy coping mechanisms, examples, and tools to process. Technological distraction is not a healthy coping mechanism. Navigating instinctual feelings with distractions such as an iPad is the building blocks of addiction. Having a reliance of exterior sources of coping makes you also more vulnerable to manipulation and coercion, often disguised as rationality and agency. Children also naturally attach to their parents, as they provide essential information and physical needs for the child. This attachment forms and molds a large portion of the child's psyche and impacts their interaction with the world for life. In the past, humans have found ways to place and replicate this attachment, mainly through religion, spirituality, and liberalism. This is referred to by Harari as authority, and he questions whether civilization will attach next to technology's guiding force, the algorithm. Technology really has a magnetic pull as it synthetically stimulates stories that our animal brain craves to learn for its own survival. Technological consumption feeds our innermost desire of experience. It shows us stories of adventure, development, laughter, connection, sadness, and more. But without the physical experience, enlightenment ultimately suffers. The features of the iPad baby actually illuminate their want for enlightenment, to experience the world through their senses, to build healthy habits to cope with negative feelings, and to have confident authority within themselves. What can the iPad baby teach us? The iPad baby can teach us that technological advancements require responsible usage. Early exposure and reliance on technology will likely have a detrimental effect on children's fundamental development. We can observe that just because you give someone a Bible does not mean that they have the capacity to be pure and holy. And just because you show someone rational thinking doesn't mean that they have the knowledge or operation to make the best decisions. We are all still human and are all driven by our brains to survive. Without responsible usage, we all have the capacity to become like an iPad baby. Technology is wonderful because it has the capacity to enhance the human experience, but it is often used irresponsibly to replace, repress, or fulfill the human experience. The only way to achieve enlightenment and to benefit from the advancements of technology is to cultivate experiential confidence like children do.